touch all your seatbelts, touch all your connections, touch your Hans. Just make sure you get everything like you want it.
Well, good evening, race fans. Next race here in the month of May, and we are coming to Armory Digital Superspeedway based out of Seattle. This 2.66 mile superspeedway often lends very exciting racing. And tonight we've got two newcomers in the Bridge to Cup field, trying to add some extra wins on their tally for the month of May to get those bonus prizes rolling. With tonight being a super speedway race, it's very much a wild card and could potentially fall into their laps. But they're going to have to fight against some of the toughest in our series, and this Bridge to Cup is no slouch when it comes to talent. Starting on the front row, you've got Anheuser-Walkner and Krista Cower. Behind them, you've got the 11 of Spinham Walker and Jack Davis. And then Paul Ladino and GP Luxembourg. Kat Durham and Ryan Little. One of those newcomers right there you see. Wyatt Wilkinson starting about in the top 10, right alongside Luis Rodriguez. Then you've got Lucas Holmes and Andrew Moger, Scott Speed and Chasey Plays. Ace Blake starting about mid-pack here alongside Bradley Ream in the 19. Alan Malcolm and Adam Starr. Cannon Gage and Noah Hobson. Gannon Bird and John Hagan. Kyle Ottawa and Braden Hunt. David Bird and AJ Kosnoff. Kevin Xavier and Dave Steele Jr. Dave Steele, your points leader, so he's going to have to come pretty far through the field to get to the front here tonight. Jamie Horseman and Asiel Escobar. Roach and Kyler Sustre with Nadak Hagum and Rich Roy rounding out the whole field here tonight. 87 laps for a grand total of 226 miles around this fictional superspeedway, Armory Digital Superspeedway. What races we have run here this year, it seems like pretty much anyone's shot at winning the race. We had one of our drivers come from the very back of the field to win it. I want to say in our truck series race here. And sometimes, you can win it from the pole. We did see, I believe, seeing that in the Cup Series. And I have actually got the utilities at my disposal. I can go check back on the results from the Cup race here earlier in the year. And that first race was won by Kellen Relic, who qualified first and finished first. So I did have a pretty good memory on that. I thought it was from pole position that Kellen won it here, and he did. So really, you could start 31st or first on the field. It doesn't matter. Anyone's got a very viable chance at winning this race here tonight. Green flag is in hand. They're rolling to the restart zone. And they're off and rolling here tonight at Armory Digital Superspeedway for the Costco Wholesale 226. As they fan out going through the first set of turns here, Wagner holds the lead over Walker and Ladino. As I mentioned, Dave Steele Jr., your current points leader, and he's deep in the field here to start the race. John Hagan second in points, Cannon Gage third in points. So a lot of it's kind of a flip-flop right now as to who's where on track. So Ladino going to the lead early here, fighting the 65. And I want to say that 94 got credited with the lead lap there. Correct. So the 65 leads the first lap, but then gives up the lead to Paulo Ladino. Ladino, definitely one of those drivers looking to get their first career win in Sigma competition. It's a lot of four wide action early on in this one. You're seeing a lot of passing on that inside. A lot of dropping on that high side. So far, so good. They've raced clean throughout the first 3 laps here. Chasey Plays leads that lap this time with Cat Durham right behind him. Or actually, Noah Hobson. My bad. The 22 of Noah Hobson. That 46 Cadillac trying to steal the lead here now. I see John Hagan and Dave Steele Jr. You can tell by the Budweiser and Busch Light paint scheme. Our top 2 in points starting to work to the front here. Actually kind of teaming up together. 2 different manufacturers, but 2 comrades in super speedway drafting, it seems. Isn't that funny how we've actually got a battle of the beers for our top 2 in point standings this early on in the championship battle. Dave Steele Jr., you knew for a fact, wasn't going to sit behind too far today. And moving through with an aggressive pace, he might be able to lead here in a couple laps' time. See, honestly, I don't feel like there's any direct strategy to run in this race. You want to either get up front and lead some laps, get those bonus points, try to lead most laps if possible. But ultimately, you might be a sitting duck if you're leading at the wrong time. Way too early in the race right now to say whatever strategy someone's got is wrong, because so much can play out in these next 80 laps. 82 to be exact. If you're new to the series, our Bridge to Cup action, kind of the intermediate. It's not the endurance length races, but it's not the short sprint size races that we've seen with our trucks and ARCA. With trucks, I try to limit it right around under an hour. ARCA right around to under an hour. And Bridge to Cup, I try to keep it within the 2-hour range. You know, not to make it too long, not to make it too short so the races can actually play out. And then, of course, our Cup Series, the one that has full-length races. And with that, you know, usually sometimes they might go about 3 or 4 hours depending on how long a cup race is in our Sigma Sylvania Cup Series action. The rest of the field might be having some slight cases of PTSD here as they see that blue Busch Light number 35 out front leading yet again. He has been a tough cookie to crumble and often wins. Well, he's already won 4 races this season. And he has 6 top 5s, 8 top 10s, and just 11 races run. 4 pole positions. Didn't add another pole to it tonight, unfortunately. Now we've got a change of lead there as Braden Hunt goes to the point. These drivers not wanting to get on that high side because it usually shuffles them backwards here. Some other names working through up to the field. Front of the field, you see Adam Starr, Luis Rodriguez, AJ Kosnoff, and even Wyatt Wilkinson working that inside line to his advantage here. '39 of Wyatt Wilkinson has been pretty bright talent. He earned this seat tonight based on his early accolades in the ARCA series and was given an opportunity to come race at the super speedway here tonight. We all know that super speedway racing could be the great equalizer when it comes to drivers potentially getting their first win. He's hoping tonight to have a good showing, and if he has a good finish here, he could see himself back in another Bridge to Cup start before the end of the year. Right there, bumping elbows with the best of this league as he's right there alongside Dave Steele Jr. Great learning experience, I imagine, for that 39 team, or rather the driver of the 39, as he pilots that MSM Hyundai here tonight. Kind of an allegiance with JSR Hyundai. So they've got similar engines, similar specs to the JSR. Obviously, the JSR team of Roach, who just won the last race at Minnesota. So great intel there for the newcomer Wyatt Wilkinson. Could possibly parlay it into a great finish here tonight. Roach riding on a high, obviously. After mentioning that, he got the win last week, so looking to potentially go back-to-back here if he can get the job done. That 66 Twisted Toe JSR Hyundai has really made it interesting here. So I was pondering a little bit today on the point system in mind for the chase, the championship, whatever we want to call it, the bracket that this Bridge to Cup series is going to feature. To me, the bracket idea, I like it. I still like it. But I feel like drivers that have wins or something, maybe definitely award the drivers that have wins. Have a mulligan in the heads up bracket. So, for example, Dave Steele Jr. with 4 wins, and our bracket would be, you know, he'll be the first up against the 32nd in points. That way he has the best chance of knocking that driver out. Think of it like March Madness bracket, where it's like the top 64 basketball teams duke it out. Well, we wanted to do it so it'd be the top 32 drivers duking it out, and based on your points position, that would set the bracket. And so first would be up against 32nd in the first race of the championship bracket battle. And if he beats the 32nd driver, then whoever lowest still survives, which could be as low as 16, maybe 17. Or honestly, number 31 could upset the apple cart and knock out number 2. But you got to think about it. I was thinking about it this way: is you'd almost have to give out mulligans to the drivers that have wins. If the number 32 driver beats Dave Steele Jr., that didn't seem like a very fair solution to a championship at the end of the year. So I still have a lot of devising and plotting to make the actual championship battle make sense. I would love to do a bracket. You know, this being kind of my experimental series, I would like to experiment with a championship style that hasn't been seen in motor racing. Just not sure if the bracket style would be ideal. But a knockout, maybe, you know, groups or something we could figure. But I'll stop rambling for now as we're watching the race in action. Almost 5 wide there for position as Moger has to lay up. 77 there of Ace Blake starting to work up to the front. Bradley Ream gives David Bird a good push to the lead. Asiel Escobar in that blue and yellow number 8 starting to work his way up to the front. Well, John Hagan had worked his way up to the front, but the conveyor belt that is the super speedway has worked him all the way back to the back. Lucas Holmes, so far early on in the season here, I think has to get accolades for being the most unexpected driver to run up front. He's already gotten a win this season at a road course and still looks strong. He could really be a sleeper for a championship battle here in the series. Now we got Ace Blake in his debut here, going for his overall first lap lead in Bridge to Cup action. We'll see if he can hold on to this lead once they come around the front side, and whether or not he'll get credited with his first ever lead lap in the series. And 94, Ladino gets by him here, so he's going to have to wait to make that first lead lap happen. As Ladino cruises out front there and is going to lead this lap. And yet again, getting shuffled up high here. The kiss of death is super speedway, as you're going to get shuffled all the way back again. Wyatt Wilkinson back in the mix here. You see that number 39 cracking up into the top 5 here. And here we have Wyatt Wilkinson going to the lead. If you're just now joining in, there has not been any cautions. We've been green flagged since the start of the race. 20 laps in pretty much so far. Lead swaps hands almost every lap, which is to be expected at these super speedway races. If Armory has any indication, I don't know if we're going to see very many wrecks tonight. We'll just see a lot of 3 and 4 wide racing action all night long. I do imagine, one reason this track stays so tight is with the restrictor plate on these cars. It keeps them pretty much all bunched together. Top speed they're getting up to is about 186. Lowest they're getting down to is about 180, so not a lot of discrepancy in the overall speed around this track. The banking keeps these guys going almost the same speed that they're going on the front straight, which is insane. Think about it. I mean, that's got to be some very aggressive banking all the way around the track for these guys to basically hold an average of 182 miles an hour. My mathing was pretty darn close. As you can see on the race meter there, overall race pace 181.4 miles an hour. So these guys are definitely blazing around the track here today. Roach takes the lead here from Anheuser-Wagner. Wilkinson staying pretty much right in the neck of the woods here. Osiel Escobar putting in a solid campaign here tonight. Seems like John Hagan got shuffled back and he's having troubles finding his way back up to the front. We're on pace for just a little bit over an hour, maybe an hour and a half in distance here tonight. And it's impressive just watching these guys lay it all out on the line. They are putting in some hard-earned laps here tonight. Each of these drivers are going to be feeling it at the finish of the race, whether or not that be heat, exhaustion, combination of both. This track runs relatively hot, even at nighttime, which is kind of crazy for Seattle. But if we look right now at our track temps, we can go back. Currently 99 degrees Fahrenheit. That's pretty damn hot. These guys will be baking like a turkey in their car. Fastest lap belongs to the 27 of Adam Starr. They're in the blue and yellow New Holland car. John Hagen's still running all the way at the back. Now I kind of start to wonder if this might be a strategy call from the 88 team. I've seen it, seen it pay off, and I've seen it go terribly wrong when drivers take the approach of sitting at the back, the wait and see approach. A lot of times the wrecks find them, and there's a few times that it does pay off and they can actually move through the field. But you really don't know what your car is capable of if you're not giving it 110% for the entire race. So Hagen might sit back there, might miss all the wrecks, and come to find out that he just doesn't have the same speed as everyone else out there if they missed it on setup. Four wide for second place. That's quite the deal there. Dave Steele Jr. back to the lead. He's going to start racking up some more lead laps here, and that's going to go a long way in getting led most laps bonus points here tonight. We haven't seen a whole lot of other drivers with the pace to match him yet, as Dave Steele Jr. has now rifled his way through the field at least twice to make it to the front. Wyatt Wilkinson had a little bit of a rough go of it last night at Killcare Speedway. Two of his worst finishes now have come at Killcare Speedway. Pretty sure that first one he ran in the trucks. Go back to April 2nd. Yeah, Wyatt Wilkinson finished 187 laps down at Killcare Speedway in the trucks with the 30th place finish. Last night he ended up finishing 16th. So he has now found his one Achilles heel when it comes to racetracks, and that is Killcare Speedway. But he's kind of starting to set himself up as being a well-rounded driver, capable of running at just about any track you throw him at. Super Speedway here tonight is going to be a good test, especially in unfamiliar equipment, as to what he can do when he hops in a rig. So we're seeing some promising sights here at that 39 running towards the front of the field. And as mentioned in last night's stream, the month of May, we've got a 300 subscriber bonus challenge going on. All the wins that people rack up, you'll get bonuses that I will honor throughout the month of May. Driver to get their first win gets a profile banner done up any which way they want. I'll personalize it to if they want it like for our Sigma series, or if they have iRacing, I'll just do a personal banner based on what they want their banner to be. Second win, you'll be eligible to pick between 3 choices: custom wallpaper, a major boost to all your entries in our Sigma universe. So you could, well, you would get, if you have trucks, Bridge to Cup, ARCA, and the Cup series, you would get a +2 to all stats in each of those series. Or the final choice for that second win would be a free paint scheme. Then if we get anyone that racks up 3 wins in the month of May, they'll get a $5 gift card emailed directly to them. So more like an e-gift card basically, or a prepaid Visa. Anyone gets 4 wins within the month of May, you'll get a $10 gift card. And I really didn't anticipate it, but I'm leaving that option open because it's very possible that it could happen. If someone gets 5 wins, there's a super secret surprise that I won't disclose until it happens, basically. So, but yeah, May to me has been the greatest month every year for race fans, racers all alike. Usually it's about the time of the year when your local short tracks are in full swing. Not to mention your big time racing syndicates like NASCAR, IndyCar, Formula One. They're bigger races. I wouldn't say biggest. Definitely the biggest in case of IndyCar with the Indianapolis 500 is in the month of May. Monaco is probably regarded as the biggest F1 race, is same week. And the Coke 600 at Charlotte, which is one of the bigger ones. I don't know if it's quite kicked the prestige of the Daytona 500, but it's definitely up there. And so that's where my love for May pretty much exists, because it's racing paradise throughout the month of May. And so maybe if it's received well, maybe we'll do something like this every May. Do like a May challenge, a May Madness special each year. Doesn't have to be for a 300 subscriber bonus, or maybe 400 or 500 by the next year. But I'm thinking if I see good input from it, we might have this little bonus game back in the future. So pit stops have started here. on lap 36. This doesn't give everyone near enough to make to the finish. John Hagan amongst some of the ones that have pitted: Ace Blake, Krista Cower, and so yeah, 36 of 87. That means that they're likely going to be able to make to lap 72 of 87 from the pit stops here. So it's going to be a two-stop race for everyone. It's just going to be dependent on who gets the better call here as to where it's going to shuffle them out in the running order in the big group at the end. There's almost no way that anyone's going to push it to lap 43. And even then, you'd still be a lap shy. But we've seen crazier things in the Sigmaverse, so there's no counting it out. Especially these guys here that still haven't pitted. They've got something else brewing that you know, might as well just let them cook, see what happens. Almost all the field down pit road now, as the remainder is Noah Hobson, Andrew Moger, Anheuser Wachner. At this point, the draft is going to start kicking in. Without enough cars around them, they're going to lose momentum, due in part to not having a good draft help here. And here we've got the rest of our takers here coming down pit road. It's looking like Dave Steele could potentially shuffle out as your leader after this first round of pit stops. As he rolls out, it's under lap 38 right now, turning lap 39 when they get across the start-finish line. The rest of the pit stops coming off pit road now. They're going to rejoin right about with Dave Steele Jr. So Jr. might not get that lead like I predicted, because it looks like Noah Hobson, Wachner might have shuffled out in front of him. Impressive, but the momentum of fresher tires is going to kick in here, and that 66 and the 35 both going to get around these two that pitted last. There's beginning to get a little bit more separation throughout the field as you've got a solid top 10 here fighting for the lead. We've got our second group led by Andrew Moger. We've got a third pack much deeper in the field here. So yeah, it breaks it down into 3 packs. We've got a couple drivers that are going laps down here. But this is your lead top 10 as they run, with Roach leading the way over Gannon Bird. Ooh, we had a mechanical failure from the 51 of Cannon Gage. That's going to hit hard in the points, as he's in the top 5 in points. He's going to finish dead last in 34th here today. Had a piston failure. Haven't had any wrecks here, so it seems like attrition might become a factor. That really is quite the bummer, because Cannon Gage was coming to life here, and that's going to set him back a little bit in the championship battle here. But we'll see him rebound. I'm pretty sure of that. But of course, in the meanwhile, Cannon Gage will be watching as his teammate Gannon Bird there in the 46 has a shot at winning it here today. That second group really starting to catch up to the lead group now, as you can see. It's only going to be a matter of time before they're duking it out with the leaders again. In this group, you've got Ryan Little, Kat Durham, Chasey Plays, Andrew Moger, Kyle Ottawa, Osiel Escobar, Braden Hunt, Jamie Horseman, Paul Ladino, Kyler Sestre, Scott Speed. And then you got Ace Blake, Krista Cower, AJ Kosnoff, John Hagan, and Adam Starr. And that would be 26 cars all within shouting range of the lead. That third group still struggling a little bit. They might need a caution to get back into this. You've got Spinham Walker, Lucas Holmes, GP Luxembourg, Luis Rodriguez, Bradley Ream, and Wyatt Wilkinson. Nowhere near going a lap down, but definitely hoping for a caution to give them track position back. .47 of 87 laps, so we just got past halfway here. 40 laps to go with 47 laps down. Noah Hobson leading the way. He is a journeyman in the Bridge to Cup Series. He's been in it since 2022 and has not had the greatest of success, but this switch over to Trackhouse B, I think, being one of the best moves he could have made. He's actually... Gotta double check this, but I'm pretty sure he has won this season. Correct. Back at Daytona, he got his first career win in 2 years of trying. So being here since 2022, hadn't seen victory until this year in 2024 at Daytona. So he knows how to get around these super speedways. Could history repeat itself tonight at Armory Digital Super Speedway? We'll have to see. But there really is a lot of interesting names working their way to the front. We've got a lot of drivers with 0 wins to their name who could potentially walk away with a win here tonight. I still can't believe we've made it this far and still no cautions. They're racing very clean for a super speedway. I'd imagine there'd be more chaos than this. But everyone racing very well behaved and putting in all the laps they can get. Well, it's a good thing that the cars have numbers because it's very hard to differentiate between the blue and yellow of Osiel Escobar and the blue and yellow of Adam Starr. They have very similar color schemes going on. Different paint schemes, obviously. Different sponsors. But both of them similar shades, same shades of blue, same shades of yellow. It's kind of crazy, actually. Asiel getting to the lead here. Let's see if he can hold on to get a lead lap here tonight. He's going to have to hold off Dave Steele Jr., which is going to be a tall order to fulfill. Cuts low as Dave Steele Jr. starts to close the gap. Closes the gap even more here as that 35 looks like he's ready to pounce. Coming down the front straight, is Asiel going to lead the lap? It looks like he might just do that. Asiel gets his first lap led of the night here at Armory. He's been somewhat of a bad luck Chuck when it comes to racing in the Bridge to Cup series. He's hoping to turn that bad luck around and start resetting the course for victories in the Bridge to Cup series here. And just like that, Dave Steele back to the lead. So I'm going to go ahead and set it up for a good old-fashioned crank it up. And I'll be right back. So enjoy the sounds and the action of the racing here. Currently at lap 57 of 87, so 30 laps to go. .26 cars still within range of the lead here. That third group not making up much gains to the lead here. But a lot could happen. These guys could bring out a wreck. The way they're racing it looks very, very excitable at the front of the field. .27 and the 81 are really bumping and banging right here. It's amazing that they haven't spun each other out. But I guess you kind of have to bulldog your way into a position like that if you want to start moving through the field. I am simply amazed that we have not seen any crashes yet here tonight. This has been a hard-fought battle for everyone. Which that could always lead to an exciting photo finish if these guys keep at it like they are tonight. Not knowing who's going to be there at the end. It's going to be a matter of inches the way they're playing it. As we're down to 22 laps to go here. Everyone's going to have to pit one more time. Our lead draft here is the top 26 drivers still running. There is a second pack much deeper in the field. I'm imagining might have been some of the drivers that stretched it on the overcut for pit stops. So they might be trying to stretch it to pit later and just take fuel. That could really spoil this whole race up too. If you got drivers that just take a quick dip down pit road with 10 laps to go, get a full tank, well, and not even a full tank. They could just get a half tank of gas and make it to the finish. They could come out smelling like roses if they outsmart this lead pack of 26. Which that's why you often let these races play out, because you never know what's going to happen at the end. Right now it's Krista Cower and David Bird leading the field. Adam Starr there in third. Kat Durham alongside of him. Oh, Krista, your first taker down pit road. And so this may as well be the undercut, as people coming earlier want to get fresh tires and try the full gas, fresh tires approach rather than a quick gas and go at the end of the race. And so that second group, as you see, they're still out there running. They're not half bad. I mean, the draft ain't as strong with a 6-car pack, but they've still got their sights very, very visibly set on the front field there. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that these guys can still get back into it. But they're going to have to cooperate here. They're going to all have to come at once together or not at all. I can't imagine that they would be able to save fuel to make to the finish without pitting. That would be a tall order even Nostradamus couldn't pull out of his keister. Kat Durham leads the way, and I think we're going to see some more takers down pit road. Rich Roy, Jack Davis, to name a two that come. That pack still staying strong out front. They're not wanting to pit too soon here. Spinham Walker cuts off from that second pack. That could be problematic for this group. As we're down to 19 laps to go. Still a lot of drivers that haven't come down pit road for their final pit stop. And a lot of them staying out yet again. Another lap staying out. These guys might be some of the ones trying to push it as far as they can so they can just come down for a quick gas and go. Forget about the tires if all you got to do is come down pit road with 10 laps to go. Strategy is really starting to develop here, and who's got the right strategy is yet to be determined. See how that other group's looking, if they've really disbanded or what. No, it's still 5 strong. They only lost 1 of their 6 down to 5. So as long as these 5 drivers can keep holding a steady wheel, drafting with each other, there's no telling what they could still end up doing here tonight. Very impressive as to why some of the people undercut here towards the end of the race. We knew that they could have made it to 10 laps to go, but rather pitted with 20 laps to go. All of these guys should be able to roughly make to lap 77, almost without flaw. And to me, that would be the winning move if you can make it to lap 77. Come down pit road and quickly gas it and go. You'll be sitting pretty. I mean, your tires might be a little bit wore out, but with these cars, the tires really don't drop off all that much at super speedways. We've seen that relevant in real life Cup with the next gen model. Our British Cup utilizes that exact same next gen model where the tire degradation is almost non-existent at super speedway. And these guys, as long as they make their numbers right, they can come down and just do a quick gas and go. We'll see if it actually pans out that way. Here we've got some more takers with 15 laps to go. That means there's still some drivers that are going to hit 14 to go here and not have pitted. And there we've got some more takers, Osceola, Scott Speed, and Gannon Bird. 13 to go now, and it looks like about 13 cars here in the lead pack still sticking it out a little bit longer. So really go back now and see what that second pack looks like. Most of your second pack pitted and have since rejoined the track. Interesting. So Hagen leads a strong surge here of drivers that have pitted. Did we have any more mechanical outs? No. And it looks like the most of your leaders coming down right there. Things are really going to get shooken up here. with only 12 laps to go, we still have had not a single caution. Last of the takers coming down pit road here will reset our running order once they rejoin the track. This is where the race is won or lost here today, is based on how well you were able to make your pit stop, gain or lose track because of it. Dave Steele Jr. has rejoined the track, or has he been staying out this whole time? Man, it is brutal without the draft. Yep, he did pit, so rejoining the track with no draft, and he's only capping at about 175. Actually, most of your drivers that have pitted. Now Anheuser-Wagner rejoins the track, which we'll see. Did he maybe just do a gas and go like I was predicting? Exactly. See, so none of these guys are taking tires, which really spoils the whole game here at the end. He might be a sitting duck with old tires if you know, maybe a flat tire could arise. Anheuser-Wagner turns a 113 on his outlap, and then a 103. Oh, and we've got a caution for the first time tonight. I'm going to enable green-white checkers just in case. First caution, and it took us 77 laps to get a caution here tonight. Now it's time to figure out where this caution originates from. The best way to do that is to just rewind the pace car and keep our eyes on the lights. And so there is possibility that this could have just been a bogus debris caution, which we do get once in a while in NR2003. And I believe that's what we got. So the racing deities above us decided to give us a caution for debris to spice things up. So this is going to get interesting, as all these guys thought the race was going to go caution free here and only took gas on this last round of pit stops. Now are probably hoping or wishing that they would have took tires, because this restart is going to be vital for them. If they don't have traction, they could get overhauled here in the matter of laps. I believe our top 10, it's going to be very touch and go for them. Know for a fact that Anheuser-Walkner in the lead, Chasey Plays, Andrew Moger, Dave Steele Jr., Kyle Ottawa, Scott Speed, Kat Durham, Chase, Jamie Horseman, Noah Hobson, Roach, AJ Kosnoff, Ryan Little, Krista Cower, Osiel Escobar, and even Nadak Hagum, I think, might have only taken gas. So this restart's going to be huge for these drivers as to what's going to unfold. We're going to take away a pace lap because we don't need another. So with the pace lights off, we're going to get back going this time by. Leading the way, it is Anheuser-Walkner and Chasey Plays, followed by Andrew Moger and Dave Steele Jr. And know for a fact that a win tonight gets them a bonus prize on top of it. So it'll be first of possibly more wins if they can rack them up. We have green-white checkers enabled. I don't imagine that we're going to have to use them. But if it comes down to it, we could see green-white checkered finish here tonight. Some overtime action if we get a caution. Cautions have been very lacking here tonight. The only one we had so far was a bogus debris caution. Thank you, NR2003, for that one. It gives everyone a valid chance to really fight for it with about 7 laps remaining. Your top 15 running on gas. They instead of taking tires during green flag pit stops, they thought they were going to be smart and take gas only. So there's no telling if our top 15 can hold on to their positions as they run. But they could surprise us still, you never know. They might actually have the ability to wheel these things home to a victory. But you gotta imagine those guys that may have took fresh tires at the back of the field, they're gonna come roaring up to the front. So it's gonna be a frantic final 7 laps here at Armory Digital Super Speedway. Chasey Plays with a good head start here on the restart. They're going to start fanning out going into turn 1. Almost guarantee it. A little bit more reserved though, I think, because these guys are running on older tires. You don't see the fanning out near as frantic as it usually is on a restart. Here we go, Kyle Ottawa making it interesting, going low here. A new war has erupted here in the race tonight, whereas we only had about 26 cars with a fighting chance to win it. Looks like about 30 cars, all with a very, very valid shot at getting the job done here. Did want to mention Wyatt Wilkinson started at the very, very back of the field, and I think he's got a very stout car. You might keep your eyes out for the orange numbered 39, the gray with number 39 that is orange. He could still find his way up to the front here. 6 laps is still a lot of racing to go. Walkner holding the lead steady right now. Kyle Ottawa in second. Here comes Noah Hobson. We all know that he can get the job done on these super speedways. He won Daytona earlier this year. The good push from the 12 of Kosnoff, that's going to get Noah Hobson into the lead position. And didn't lead the lap, and they're going to push it 3 wide here as Kosnoff, kind of a unexpected recipient of the lead here in the closing laps. 5 laps remain and 4 wide for about 5th place on back. So close to 5 wide. I'm amazed that they haven't wrecked yet. Holy cow, 5 wide. It's for all the marbles right now. Oh, and there we've got another wreck here tonight. Oh boy. These guys are giving it their all, and that might have collected about half the field there. That's what happens. Cautions breed cautions. And if the we'll kind of keep a tally on this, but I want to go back and see who was all involved. Ooh, John Hagan second in the points. He might be a little bit beaten up here. Oh, he took a tumble too. So if we can see, it was the 81 and the 78 of Moger that started it, it looks like. The 81 gets into Moger, collects the 49. John Hagan with nowhere to go. He gets clipped. Also in it, Ace Blake. And there we see Hagan taking a tumble. He's going to get hit again here. It looks like the 8's trying to whoa up as the 88's tumbling right in front of him. Wow, the 81 of Kyle Ottawa really goes for some airtime there. Impressively, the 39 of Wyatt Wilkinson gets woed up just in time. We're going to watch his cockpit view here and see just how close for comfort it was. As you see right there, that black Hyundai, that's his teammate for the night. Ace Blake gets in it. So unfortunately, Ace Blake's not able to make it through, but Wyatt Wilkinson with minimal damage, I believe. And he gets to see the aftermath of all the carnage as he's rolling through there. Let's watch one more time from John Hagan. The camera on John Hagan here. 5 wide. You knew something was it had to give there. That 5 wide eventually turned into chaos here. Ace Blake's night might be over after taking a pretty hard hit there. And then we'll do one more for good measure, watching the 78 of Moger as he's 5 wide there. Collects the 49. The 35 got a little bit of it. I don't know how bad Dave Steele took damage there. Looks like some visible damage. Everyone else does pretty good at maneuvering around the chaos. But this is going to set us up with likely one more final restart. You never know in these races. We could have multiple restarts, especially with green-white checkers enabled. Luxembourg had nowhere to go. Okay, so currently out of the race, the 81 of Kyle Ottawa, after getting sandwiched into the wall there. The 84 of GP Luxembourg. The 78 of Moger sadly had a top 5 car there and is out of the mix now with a 32nd. John Hagan, your 2nd place in the points. Cannon Gage, your top 5 in the points. So 2 of our heavy title contenders knocked out of this race tonight. It's a tough pill to swallow. We're going to go ahead and try to end this race under regulation. Take the pace lap off. And we've got basically a green-white checkered attempt here under regulation. Leading the way, it's Adam Starr and his teammate Krista Cower. So 1-2 for the Subaru duo. In third, you've got AJ Kosnoff. The third place driver just dropped off. Unfortunately, the 26 of Lucas Holmes out of gas. So these guys, it's starting to kick in now. I don't know if we're going to get back going if we have more drivers that drop like flies here in the closing laps. That's why we have green-white checkers enabled for a reason. This could get tested here tonight if we've got more chaos left to unfold here. What a bummer. Lucas Holmes had a good finish on tap here tonight. And you gotta imagine some of these other cars are gonna start running out of gas because they didn't anticipate the race to pan out like this. And you gotta imagine even too the guys towards the back of the field a little bit beaten up, a little bit rougher around the edges with the damage sustained during that last wreck. We will get at least one attempt here under regulation to call the winner. Lap 86, we're going to take the green. Then we can get the white. If we get the white, then the race is official. Otherwise, we will have Sigma overtime here tonight if they don't take the white flag. Still green, still green. Things looking good here as we're going to probably be able to make it all the way around and get that white flag. There's still no telling if more drivers are going to start dropping at the end here, as we will get the white flag waving in the air one more lap, this time by. No caution. The race is official. White flag in the air. Adam Starr leads the way. AJ Kosnoff right there in second. Anheuser-Wagner now cracking up in position. Wagner wants to get this one back that has been stolen from him. Trevor Ventures has had a good start in the month of May as his team car ended up winning the ARCA race last night at Killcare Speedway. Jordan Walker, his brother, that's Jaw Drop Motorsports in the 65. As they're coming to the front end of the racetrack, it's a three-wide battle. Who's going to get it? Three wide. Spin'em Walker has quite the edge there. And it looks like Spin'em Walker takes it. The 11. Cheeto's entry of Spin'em Walker nabs a victory here tonight. Coming home in the top 10, you had Adam Starr coming home second, Anheuser-Wagner in third, David Bird fourth. The 10 of Kevin Xavier with the top 5 here. The 19 of Bradley Ream, the 12 of AJ Kosnoff, the 98 of Krista Cower, the 6 of Kat Durham, the 1 of Alan Malcolm. And coming home for a top 15, Wyatt Wilkinson gets that 15th position. So he came through and managed to cut you know, halfway through the field at the end there, after being mildly involved with that wreck while running in 26th. Ace Blake continued to finish under power without having to retire from the race, coming home in 28th. But at the end of the night, it was Spin'em Walker shocking the field here, which, believe it or not, I think that is Spin'em Walker's second win, because he won the crazy wonky race at 777 Speedway earlier this season. Let me verify. Spin'em Walker, correct. 1 win, 1 top 5, 2 top 10. So that makes his second win on the season in the most unpredictable of fashions. Getting the job done here. Heartbreak for those that were running up front all day today just to get caught up in that last wreck within the last restarts there. It was a clean race up until the point where it was not. And 12 races down, 18 races to go. Just now realized I don't have it marked as 2024, which will become mildly confusing in the... But I don't have anything marked as 2024, so... Oh well. Didn't have to exercise green-white checkers here tonight, even though it was very much possible and almost could have came to be. But we end it under regulation here with the final restart to find Spin'em Walker in victory lane. Well, that's a wrap here tonight. We got one more race this week, and it's going to be our Cup Series race tomorrow at Chicagoland. Spin'em Walker just earned himself a custom profile banner, so I'll go ahead and send him a message to get that all set up. Maybe he'll be catching more activity from him. Who knows? But anyways, thank you everyone for tuning in. It was a great race, a very, very standard super speedway craziness for the most part, and had a little bit of everything. Some racing, some wrecking, and a very close finish there at the end that could have went to just about anyone. So I want to say we might see that 39 car back in another race or two before the season's over. It was great seeing Wilkinson out there duking it out with the big names here in Bridge to Cup. Maybe we'll give him a shot on a rallycross race next. So, to no avail, this is the end of the stream. Hopefully everyone has a good night. Stay safe out there, and we'll catch you on the next